My name is Michael Yuan, and I'm the founder and maintainer of the project called LLM RAG. So, it's one of the WebAssembly runtime in CNCF. But I'm going to talk about another project. So today we heard a lot about how to run local AI, fine-tune your model and build a RAG database and all that. But then what? Now you have all that, then what? So next step, of course, is to offer this as a service, right? This is what GaiaNet does. So it provides a suite of open source software that allow you to combine a fine-tuned large language model and a RAG database, and then offer it as a service right from your own computer. So it's it's sort of like a digital twin of yourself. So it learned about your ideas and your skills, and then provide that service to other people you know or other people you don't know, right? So let's get started. So this is a GitHub repository. There's there are thousands of people running nodes that's emulated themselves, and so what I want to talk about is a particular way to run a GaiaNet node. So this is you can actually run it with a single Docker command. So there's a Docker Hub repository, and in the description, it says, this GaiaNet node take a persona of a Paris tour guide. So it has three things in it. There is a 5.3 mini instruct large language model for chat. There is a NOMAC embedding model. And then there's a Paris guidebook for the knowledge base. So it can take a persona of something who's a teacher, who's a tour guide, who's anything, right? So that's what I want to show. And this approach is actually somewhat different from a lot of other local AI approaches. So we don't get a runtime first and then download the model to have the runtime. We have the runtime and the model and the prompt and the association between them all combined in a Docker image. We believe there's tight coupling between the different models and the prompt and the RAG database you want to use, right? So for instance, if the model has a large contact length, you probably would have large paragraph text that's stored in the RAG database that would ideally match the model's context window. And you also would have, different models would also understand the prompts differently, right? So we have all these things combined in a single Docker image, and which it takes on the persona of a Paris tour guide. So the command to use it, the command to run it is really simple. Docker run this. And since I only have 5 minutes, I actually only have 2.5 minutes now. So I already run it, and you can run it on your own computer as well. And you'll get started before the end of this talk, right? So so you can see it start a vector database and load the Paris guidebook, and then it starts the runtime that start two models, the LLM and the embedding model. And then it tells you that it reversed proxied itself. So everything is running on this machine, on my own machine, but it reversed proxied itself so that it has a URL that it can be accessed from outside. So if I click on this URL, it's gonna tell, so that's I think this is an internet connection problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use localhost, okay? Because everything is running on my own machine, and this GaiaNet node, by registering itself, goes onto the internet, and then tells other people about it. So if I just ask a question to say, the most standard question anyone can ask is, where is Paris, right? That's Paris, and what it's going to do is that it's going to go to my local. If I come here, it's going to go to my here. So it's going to go to my local Docker instance and then try. But I don't know why it's not. That's. Let me see. Sorry. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe I keep it running for too long, and So I promise it worked just a minute ago. But we can see the history since I have another half a minute left. So we can actually see the history in the container to see that's what it actually did, right? So we can see the log. So I asked a couple of questions in the past. So so one of them is, where is Paris? The other one is, what's its population? So you can see when I ask where is Paris, it actually goes to the vector database and retrieved the paragraph that it deems relevant, that fits the context window of this particular model. that's what I call, the vector database, the RAG database, the embedding model, and the LLM are tightly coupled within a single Docker image, so that you can run them all together and then have it exposed as a network service, right? So it finds this paragraph and put that in the context, and then ask then based on that paragraph, and ask the question. Let me see if oh, yeah, it did. Okay, so maybe just slow. That's so it actually answered. It's actually answered fairly a long paragraph. It's based on the geographic paragraphs that I asked. So since I also have 20 seconds left, I'm going to ask a follow-up question. It's to what is its population? So what's the population of Paris, right? So if we go here and if we do if we look into the container again and see, yeah, so it finds the relevant paragraph about the population. So let's go back to the chat UI. Oh, okay, it still hasn't come back. But one of the last thing I want to talk about is that this is this not only there's a chat UI you can interact with it. It actually provides a full OpenAI compatible API, so that you can hook it up with LangChain or other applications, using this node as a service, as a drop-in replacement for OpenAI. Yeah, sorry. Excellent.